Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and this matters. At the end of this video, many of you will remember exactly what this is, but at the end of this video, I'm going to show you a picture from someone at Ripple back a couple of years ago. And they showed a picture of themselves with someone, and they said I can't remember the exact words, but they said, I'll say it again, this matters. And I'm going to tie in a couple of things we've talked about before, but I'm going to there's so many new people here. I'm going to tie in and kind of show you what I think the bigger picture of what XRP is really about, and why this is such a life-changing, globe-changing, world-changing thing that we're a part of. So this matters, and I'm going to show you why. But first I wanted to show you this. There's some kind of wild things going on around the world, as we know. We're seeing riots, we're seeing protests, we're seeing, yesterday, this is from Ian Northing, we saw internet outages. Internet users across the world reported problems with accessing websites and major global outage. This could be nothing. This could just be a lot of people using Zoom now. Who knows what it is? But the point is that the internet went down in a lot of places around the world yesterday, and I thought it was interesting. Now, this right here is from Gold Telegraph. Spot gold opens at 1971, historic number. Here's a reminder, 1971 Nixon shock. Richard Nixon, convertibility of dollars for gold stock, which leads us to today, a world buried in debt. This is how it all started, folks. Good old Richard Nixon.
I have directed Secretary Connally to suspend temporarily the convertibility of the dollar into gold or other reserve assets, except in amounts and conditions determined to be in the interest of monetary stability and in the best interest of the United States.
So basically, when he did that, he ended the Bretton Woods Agreement. And that is what all of this talk has been about for the last 2 or 3 years, is a new Bretton Woods, a new world order. That's what they're referring to. When you hear New World Order, Bretton Woods changed the world order. And like I showed you with Ray Dalio yesterday, he said that we're going to have a new world order. It's going to be a new Bretton Woods. Okay. Gold Telegraph also said this is going to be a global currency event, folks. Some currencies will stand longer, but it's a race to zero now. That's always the finish line for fiat currencies. Then CS May had sent me this. The Fed now owns a total of 22,913 different securities, according to Bloomberg. It is the world's biggest investor. Now, in what world, when the Federal Reserve was formed, do you think anybody thought that the Federal Reserve should be able to or would be able to go and buy all of these assets around the world? This is pitiful. I mean, this is not what America was founded to be, some quasi-government organization that's not really, but is, I mean, that can go and basically do whatever they want to do and have a monopoly on money. So they now own treasuries and all these companies, and I mean, something really, really strange is afoot. XRP Crypto Wolf sent me this. 515 million XRP and 9,441 XRP accounts have already been set up to claim free Spark tokens from Flare Networks. 47 million XRP holdings increased, and 2,222 new XRP accounts have been created since Flare's Spark token announcement. So these are some just graphs, but this illustrates a point. You could see a lot of people when Flare announces when it's going to happen. You could see a real flood of people buying XRP just so they can get Flare tokens. All right, hold on a sec. Okay, so now this is also from XRP Crypto Wolf. South Korea's central bank will begin the pilot test for a central bank digital currency by the end of 2021. It plans to unveil details for a consulting partnership with a company on August 31st. The Bank of Korea is accelerating its drive for a CBDC system. You think? Okay, so Mike Preston sent me this, and this is CNBC. Warren Buffett's Berkshire has acquired a slightly more than 5% stake in each of Japan's 5 biggest trading companies, which I'm not going to try to pronounce. Listen to this.
Berkshire Hathaway has actually acquired a stake of slightly more than 5% in each of the 5 leading Japanese trading companies. Those companies are Itochu Corporation, Marubeni Corporation, Mitsubishi, Mitsui, and Sumitomo. Berkshire actually acquired those holdings over a roughly 12-month period through regular purchases on the Tokyo Stock Exchange. Berkshire says that it intends to hold those investments for the long term and that it may actually
Okay, I'm not going to play any more of that. I just think that that's an interesting purchase right now in these times. We'll see what happens with that. Now, Forbes Crypto said, we're proud to invite you to pound for pound, the heaviest hitting event in crypto, RSVP, the Forbes Blockchain 50. So I'm assuming this is the most important people in blockchain. And in their tweet, they feature right in the middle David Schwartz, which would make him one of the more important of the 50 people in blockchain. So I want to take you down this road that I told you about at the beginning of this video. Now, so he's one of the 50 most important people in blockchain, as he should be. Well, I saw this piece of news. Let me see, was this yesterday? It's today. Ivanka Trump tweets this out. I prayed yesterday at the Western Wall that Muslims and Arabs from throughout the world will be watching this flight, recognize that we are all children of God and that future does not have to be predetermined by the past. That's Jared Kushner, who is there. And I believe that was the first Israel flight in Abu Dhabi. They had the peace deal with the UAE. Well, when I saw this picture, things just started to pop back into my head from my memory. So I wanted to show some of you some of those things. And I think it'll be eye-opening for those of you that have never seen this. The first thing, Jared Kushner, who's one of his best buddies, Ken Kersen. Okay, Ken Kersen is on the board of Ripple. Okay, Chris Larson, Susan Athey, Brad Garlinghouse, Ken Kersen, and Ben Lawsky. We've shown you all of the different connections that Ripple has to the heights of power. Well, one thing that's very important is that Ken Kersen literally replaced David Schwartz on the board of directors at Ripple. So what's so important about Ken Kersen, this guy who's an outsider to Ripple, what's so important about this guy where he would replace the guy who is one of the top 50 most important people in blockchain? And David Schwartz gladly did it. This tweet indicates that Joel Katz, who has freed his seat at the Ripple board of directors for Ken Kersen, he says, yes, I'm all in with Ripple either way. And now we have Ken too. It's an interesting move, and it shows David Schwartz's commitment to Ripple's success. So this Ken Kersen is important enough to replace the man, the guy that created the XRP ledger. All right, so let's look at why that might be. Esoteric XRP, he put a lot of these different things together. One, XRP connections, close friends, Jared Kushner, Ken Kersen, board of directors. There's Jared Kushner and Ken Kersen. There's them again. Here they are, 4 different pictures. Then look at this one. XRP connection, Jared Kushner. Remember, he's a senior advisor to his father-in-law, Donald Trump. He's also buddies with Steve Mnuchin, the Treasury Secretary. So they're in pictures over and over and over. They're the left and right hand men of Donald Trump. Then there's a picture of, Jared Kushner also has been seen many times over in Saudi Arabia, UAE, all those areas over in the Middle East. Here he's with, and also one of the things that has captivated all of our attention about Ripple is that we're always, for the last 2 or 3 years, all we see is Brad Garlinghouse in a room with all these central bankers. Then he's Christine Lagarde sitting right in front of him that runs the IMF at the time. The guy that runs the BIS is sitting there listening to him. All these doors just keep being open. Well, here you have Jared Kushner sitting right beside, whispering to Christine Lagarde. There's Mnuchin again. Here's Mnuchin coming over to his house, I guess. And here's Jared Kushner speaking in front of all of over in the Middle East. Okay. And then we've got this from Stephen Bull from the DF. I'm going to play half of it. This is Ken Kersen.
Is devoted to this particular candidate. And what made 2008 that I kept thinking, this digital stuff that Chris was talking about, it has a future. I don't know what it's going to look like. I'd never heard of Bitcoin. But then in like 2011, and I'm not super into like the programming world. I'm not really in touch with other message board guys. The ones who look like Plague from the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. But I started to hear it percolating around. I was looking into it as a journalist, and I bought my first Bitcoin in I think 2012 for about $90. And I remember thinking, this is terrible. Everyone else paid 50 cents. Why am I paying almost $100? And then that same guy, Chris Larsen, became the CEO of Ripple, which is a currency that shares some attributes with Bitcoin. Not a lot. I mean, it's a cryptocurrency, but it's validated totally differently, and has a real. Bitcoin doesn't care what you use it for, which is one of its attributes. It's one of the reasons people like it. Whereas Ripple has a very specific usage, which is remittances. Sometimes people.
So he's an XRP holder. We've shown that on this channel as well. But listen to what he says in this clip.
The big obsession right now is cryptocurrency, and the way the blockchain in particular is just going to change everything. I think it's going to come to redefine money and even what being a nation means. So I'm spending a lot of my time focused on cryptocurrency and helping businesses understand the blockchain.
Let's do that again.
I think it's going to come to redefine money and even what being a nation means. So I'm spending.
Redefine what being a nation means. What in the world is he talking about? Well, I think I know what he's talking about. He's talking about freaking XRP. Now, watch this. This is a clip. This is Ivanka Trump, who is Jared Kushner's wife and Donald Trump's daughter. We know that. She's sitting here talking to Christine Lagarde and another interesting fella. Two fellas. Look at this guy right here. You may recognize. I'll show you who he is in a second.
As soon as you talk,
there's Christine Lagarde. So you got Christine Lagarde right there beside Ivanka Trump.
a lot of people start listening who wouldn't otherwise listen.
And the same with the defense side of it.
Yeah.
In terms of the whole sort of ecosystem, it's been very male dominant. So.
And there he is again. And then you got Trump and all these. But anyway, if you look, this is who the guy was that was standing there with them. And Corey Johnson, who used to be Ripple's spokesperson, I've always thought that Corey Johnson was let go from Ripple because maybe he said some things that he shouldn't have said. And this is one of them. I believe this was a deleted tweet, but I'm not sure. It says Corey Johnson. Why did this tweet get deleted? But he had tweeted this out. It's Corey Johnson shaking hands with that is his name Trudeau? Yeah. Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada. And he says, I'll say it again. This matters. And so I always remembered that, and it popped back in my head, and they all seem to be tied together. You got Mnuchin, and then there's Christine Lagarde, there's Jared Kushner. So look, my son could draw you all a picture, but I think that you all out there are common sense enough to kind of start piecing these things together in your mind, saying there's a there, if you know what I mean. Now, yesterday I brought up to you the unstoppable domains, but I didn't think about it. I thought about it last night, and I was thinking, there's a lot of people that are listening to me that weren't around during the .com boom that might find this interesting. So here, now we have domain names for money. Back in the .com, we had domain names that were for information where you could create a website and that was your domain name. And what happened that a lot of you may not know is that domain names became literally an investment. And so what was happening, I'll show you. These are some of the most popular domain names, the top 25 most expensive domain names from the .com. Look at how much these things sold for. Watch this. Carinsurance.com for $49.7 million. Insurance.com for $35.6. Vacationrentals.com, $35 million. Privatejet.com, $30.18 million. Voice.com, $30 million. Internet.com, $18 million. My point in showing you this is that, remember, less than 1% of the population is even here with us right now. It might be, and I'm going to literally do it myself. I've got digitalassetinvestor.crypto as a domain to send money to, but I'm going to go and search and see if I can get any good names that haven't been thought about myself, because these things can be worth a lot of money. And Unstoppable Domains actually has a process in place on here where you can sell and put yours up for sale inside of Unstoppable Domains. I've got a link link to this in the description. If you want to go get yourself an Unstoppable Domain, go in the description of all my videos and I'll have a link there. It'll take you right to it. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. There might be some opportunity on this Unstoppable Domains site. Thanks for listening.
Every day, billions of people around the world are mocked, ridiculed, laughed at, and embarrassed by their friends, family, and even strangers. These people go through their days knowing there are secrets being kept from them. They hear the faint whispers behind closed doors. The information and knowledge is held very close and only shared with others who were fortunate enough to find out. Feeling lost, rejected, and ostracized, these people give up, never finding out what digital assets the digital asset investor holds. But there is hope. Join the free Digital Asset Investor email newsletter and find out what digital assets he owns each month, including investments he's considering. Click the link in the description of this video or go to digitalassetinvestornewsletter.com. Put an end to your days of gloom and depression. Join the greatest free digital asset email newsletter ever created.